Hello everyone, it's Reverend Tammy and it's time for Children's Chapel live from St. Paul's Church in Beaufort, North Carolina. I hope all of you are doing well. I love seeing some of you riding your bicycles on our streets and some of you sitting on your porches and some of you waving to me from your cars. But we're thinking of you, and even though you're not here with us in this wonderful church building, you're here with us in our hearts. So this is our third Children's Chapel via Facebook, and so you might remember some of the special things that we're doing to prepare ourselves for worship. And I've got my trusty canvas bag with me with all the good stuff in it that we're going to need today. And I've got everything that we need over here that we used last week. So remember that the first thing that we do is we light a candle. So we're going to light our candle to remind us of the light of Christ. So we say, light our candle. We're very careful. Say the light of Christ, and everybody says, thanks be to God. We remember our word back here, light. And we're right in front of our Sunday school class window as well. We've chosen this special place to do our chapel because of all of the people that have had Children's Chapel at St. Paul's for many, many years, longer than any of us have been alive. So last week, we also rang our bell so that we could set our space apart by listening for God. So we're going to ring our bell 3 times. We're going to listen till we can't hear it anymore. Hear it? As we listen, we put our hand over our heart because we're listening for our heartbeat too. So when we hear our heartbeat, we know we're part of the heartbeat of God. So we have our light, and we listen. We listen for God. Last week we talked about the fact that we're in the season of Easter, and we read the story about Jesus's dying and rising from the dead, and that's the story of Easter that we remember. And so we began doing last week something very special called praying in color. And when we prayed last week in color, you might remember that, let me find it in my bag here. It's not in that. They're my markers. Got my markers right there. And I have a special book where I keep all of my prayers that I've done in color, but you might remember that we had a picture where we had the 50 days of Easter, that each of these shapes is one of the days, and we started drawing things in these shapes that reminded us of resurrection or new life, because that's what happens in the season of Easter. When Jesus died and rose again, he brought us new life. So we wrote down all the things that give us new life. I drew a picture of a flower, and I drew green because it reminded me of trees. And I drew blue because it reminded me of being on the water, and I love when I'm on my boat. It makes me very happy. And I drew pictures of musical notes because when I listen to music, I'm very happy and it reminds me of new life. And then we moved on and started talking about other ways and other people that we wanted to have new life brought to them. And And so we thought about the people that are sick that we wanted to get well. So we wrote some names of some special people in here. And I'm hoping that you had a chance to finish your picture from last week, and I hope you'll take a picture of it and send it to me at church so that I can post them on our Facebook site too, so everybody can see all the ways in which you are practicing resurrection or remembering Easter. So I'm going to put this back in my special prayer book where I keep all my praying in color prayers. This week, praying in color again, we're going to talk about saying thank you. Okay? Gratitude. Giving thanks. In Paul's letter to the Colossians, he said, be thankful. And I'm betting you can think of lots of ways to be thankful. So when I came to church yesterday, this was on the door of church. Can you believe that? Somebody wrote a thank you note to St. Paul's to say thank you for the nice things that we've been doing. Wasn't that thoughtful? This very, very large thank you note. So when we say thank you to people, it makes them feel really, really good. I bet you've said thank you to your mom or your dad or your brother or sister, maybe to your teacher or your friend. Maybe you said thank you to a stranger for something nice that they did. I'm going to put this right down here because it's hard for us to see it. It's so big. And then right here, I have all these notes from you all. Everybody wrote me thank you notes to say thank you for the Sunday school buckets. And there's this one note that I got that was really wonderful. Somebody drew a picture of the church to say thank you. I think this was Clay. Thank you, Clay, for such a wonderful picture. And I got thank you notes from Isabel and Sam. And I got thank you notes from the Wheatleys. Such nice, thoughtful things. So thank you so much for saying thank you. It makes everybody feel good. So now I would like for you to think about ways that you can grow in gratitude, things that you're thankful for. So when we pray in color, remember we get our favorite things to color with and we pull them out and we start coloring all the things that we're thankful for. So I'm going to take this blue pen and I'm going to color on my picture this plant right here that has some blue flowers on it, because I love plants with blue flowers. There's this one flower called the delphinium that's blue that I just love, and they're blooming all over Beaufort right now, so I give thanks to God every time I see them. So as I sit here in color, I'm actually telling God, as I color, how thankful I am for all the beautiful flowers like the delphinium. So I bet if you sat down and you started coloring, you could think of some things that you're thankful for, right? So maybe you would draw a picture of your dog, or maybe your cat, or maybe you draw a picture of your mom or your dad, or maybe your friend. There's lots of ways for us to be thankful. So remember, we've got light, and we've got listening. It's the Easter season of resurrection, and we're praying in color, and now we're going to give. See if I can move this over so you can see it. So we're going to give. There's a G, there's an I, there's an E. We're going to give. I bet you can guess what the word is. We're going to give thanks. T-H. See if you can find an A. Give. Thanks. There we go. Give thanks. Give thanks. So we give God thanks for all the many, many gifts that God gives us. So I hope you will find lots of ways to give thanks this week. And what we'd like to say most of all is thank you for being you, because you are fearfully and wonderfully made in the image and likeness of God. And the most important thing for you to know is how much you're loved by God. Have a good week, and we'll see you again soon.